Hello, everyone. Namaste, sabhi ko.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Nice to see some familiar faces.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Blissy.
Good evening, ma'am. Om Namah Shivaya. I'm Aruna from Nachketa Tapovan, Hyderabad branch.
Lovely to meet you. Maybe the rest of you can also just type in the chat where you're joining from. It'll be nice till we'll just give people a minute or two to join and then begin. Whenever you're ready to begin, you should start.
So good evening, everyone, and we're so happy and excited to have all of you here. And this is a beautiful collaboration between Librarians of India and Katha. And we're going to start it off with the introduction to Librarians of India. Many of you know who we are, but in case you don't, here's a little glimpse.
Teaching these children how to convert their stories into books. We were actually teaching them to create books as well.
Understand what your stories are, understand what your communities are, what your children speak.
I've seen children who are embodying in their reluctant entry into the library and into the welcome we're providing them. They're embodying a kind of generational experience of humiliation.
Wait for grief to hit before we gently approach these topics with our kids. That's why we wrote this book,
more heartwarming stories that help build resilience and understanding.
And that is our introduction of Librarians of India. And allow me to now, of course, introduce who our collaborator for today is. And that is, of course, Katha, started in 1988 as a magazine for children from underserved communities. Katha is now a renowned nonprofit dedicated to children's education. Katha's children's story and research program was created to spread the joy of reading to every child. And for 35 years, Katha has been harnessing the power of stories to spark curiosity and a desire to learn in children across the world, especially those from underserved communities. Through their books and philosophy, Katha believes in creating reader leaders. So I hope you're absolutely excited for cultivating the joy of reading, our very special collaborative session with Sonia Duggal. And I'm now handing over to Neeta to introduce Sonia.
Thank you, Apeksha. I met Sonia by chance at another library conference, and we just kind of hit it off. Sonia has over 2 decades of experience. She's the driving force behind several of Katha's programs, and she focuses on creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking. She's one of the chief mentors at Katha, and she designs transformative workshops that inspire both students and teachers to embrace the joy of storytelling and the art of writing. Sonia herself believes in immersive storytelling and fosters leaders who think critically and act compassionately. We can't wait to see what she has in store for us today. And as we said, we are super excited. And we also have with us, I noticed, Mr. Rajesh Sundarajan, who's the executive director of Katha here. A warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you so much for this lovely collaboration. Over to you, Sonia. I'm not going to take any of your time. I know you have so much to give us.
Thank you so much. So let's start. It's going to be a very interactive workshop. मैं हिंदी में भी बोलूंगी and I'll speak in English also. So it's going to be bilingual. In case you have questions, please type in the chat box, and of course, all of us here to answer as and when. Thank you so much, Neeta. तो थोड़ा interactive workshop होने वाला है. It's going to be a very interactive workshop. So let's start. Can you see a picture?
Yes.
अब ये पिक्चर एक कहानी की किताब की है. This is a story book. Can you guess what the name would be? So somebody can help me with if people are typing in, which I think they are.
Ma'am, Ladakh.
Perfect. आपको कैसे मालूम लद्दाख है? आप बिल्कुल ठीक बोले जो भी बोले. तो
मैम
ये कहानी है. हाँ जी, बताइए.
मैम मैंने ये बुक पढ़ी थी, अभी मेरी लाइब्रेरी में भी है ये.
हाँ.
इसलिए हाँ, उसपे ये पिक्चर बनी हुई है.
परफेक्ट. तो ये है सोनम्स लद्दाख. हम पढ़ेंगे इस किताब को. तो अब देखिए, जब आप क्यूरियोसिटी बढ़ाना चाहते हैं बच्चों में, व्हेन यू हैव टू एंगेज द चिल्ड्रन, स्टार्ट विद दीज काइंड ऑफ इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग्स, राइट? सो वो बच्चों को इंटरेस्ट बैठना शुरू हो जाता है. अरे ये हु इज दिस नाउ? ये कौन है? इनका तो मुझे पता ही नहीं कौन है.
मैम हिप-हॉप.
हिप्पो.
हाँ, ये हिप्पोपोटामस है. ये हंस रहे हैं. और ये जो कहानी है बहुत मजेदार है और इसका नाम है हिप्पोपोटामस. Can somebody tell why hippopotamus? Hippopotamus. I'm giving you a clue there.
Because he used to had lot of hiccups every time.
Absolutely. So this name is because this hippopotamus gets lot of hippopotamus and he lands up somewhere and he doesn't know how to go back home. And all the animals get together to help him get home. Okay, so that's the story, which maybe I might tell or might not tell. We'll see. And which one is this now? What kind of art is this?
Bullock sir.
भील.
हाँ, तो ये कहानी भील आर्ट की है. ये भी हम देखेंगे आज जैसे हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. तो आज की जो हम वर्कशॉप कर रहे हैं, the workshop which we are doing it's actually to experience the true value of reading. Build and how through books we can build comprehension and critical thinking in children. And foster a lifelong love for books and learning. And beyond that, how can we do it in the library? अगर आप देखिए library एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ बच्चे आ सकते हैं. So it's not very structured. There's no teacher who has to teach them at that time. है ना? तो कोई भी आके उनके साथ काम कर सकते हैं और बहुत कुछ हम लोग कर सकते हैं, है ना? तो ये हम इसके बारे में आज बात करने वाले हैं. ठीक है? बात करने से पहले एक काम करते हैं, जल्दी से आप लोग ये कोड स्कैन करिएगा. ये चैट बॉक्स में है. ये एक हमारा लाइब्रेरीज ऑफ इंडिया और कथा का एक कंबाइंड ग्रुप है, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पे बहुत मजेदार प्राइजेस भी देने वाले हैं. तो अगर आप ये ग्रुप ज्वाइन करेंगे तो आप आंसर भी कर सकते हैं क्वेश्चंस इसमें. तो जल्दी से अपना कैमरा ऊपर करिएगा, QR कोड स्कैन करें. अगर वो नहीं करना है तो चैट बॉक्स में ये इसका वो लिंक का डिटेल्स भी हैं. मैं बाद में दोबारा से करेंगे ये. I'll come back to this again in a while. So let's move forward in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds now. Okay, so let's go forward and look at what I have. Now the question is, why should we read? सच हम बच्चों को कहते रहते हैं पढ़ो पढ़ो पढ़ो. ठीक है, कुछ मतलब पहले तो अपनी कहानियों की किताबें पढ़ो, फिर कोर्स बुक पढ़ो. तो पढ़ना जरूरी क्यों है? ये बहुत
Sonia?
रेलेवेंट क्वेश्चन है. हाँ जी.
Hi Sonia, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
There's just been a message in the chat from somebody who's from Chennai who says
Right.
that they are not able to follow a lot of Hindi. So maybe if you can use a mix of Hindi and English.
Yeah, so whatever I'm trying to say in Hindi is being said in English also.
Yeah,
So,
no problem.
So whatever. So why should we read? That's the question right now. Why should we read? Why reading? How does reading, I mean, just go to your experiences. आप अपने experiences से बात करिएगा कि people who are reading, why should we read? Are there anything which is coming up in the chat box, or shall we continue?
Oh, participants
Basically
are
to
saying
enjoy.
pronunciation,
Right.
vocabulary, building
Right.
imagination,
Right.
to escape, and pleasure as well.
Perfect. So let's look at it a little more deeply. One of them is emotional growth. When you read, what happens is you are exposed to many different characters and lives. All right. So you understand, we cannot see everybody. So we understand other people's perspective. हमें दूसरों के perspective समझ में आते हैं जो जब हम characters की बात करें तो उसमें क्या होता है, बच्चों को एक्साइटमेंट होता है, जॉय होता है. तो सब तरह के इमोशंस जो हैं, बच्चे क्या हम बड़े भी जब कहानियां सुनते हैं तो सब तरह के इमोशंस हम फील कर पाते हैं. एंड वी रिकग्नाइज एंड फील द सेम फीलिंग्स एज द कैरेक्टर, इजंट इट? Something went wrong here?
No, I think you can just reshare, Sonia. Sorry, I was just looking at controls because we were having a lot of
Right.
drawing happening on the PPT.
So the stories allow anybody for that matter to process emotions indirectly. So emotional growth बहुत होती है. I'll give you an example. Like if there is a lot of, if we look at dialogues and the dialects. So if you see how we speak in North India is very different. The same Hindi is spoken very differently in North of India or Haryana as compared to Lucknow. So now when the dialect, and people don't understand because Haryana you'll say is very rude, which is not the case. It's khadi boli. Okay, so now, but if you go to Lucknow, it's absolutely different flavor. But if when children read it, the dialogues and the dialects which come into the books, so what happens? There's a lot of understanding and empathy which takes place, and there's a lot of emotional growth which happens. तो जो क्या है कि पढ़ने से हम दूसरों का पर्सपेक्टिव समझना में मदद करता है. अगर हम आगे बढ़े तो जैसे आप लोग ने सबने कहा language development, there is vocabulary which language processing is happening, right? Reading is not very long back. I realize it's only 6,000 years old when all this people started reading, and there's a lot of activity which language processing which happens at that time. So you are visualizing, which I'm going to talk about. So there's a lot of cognitive development, logical reasoning which happens. Okay, what happens? Cause and effect. You compare things. So there's a lot of critical thinking which is being talked about even by NEP and NCF. तो रीडिंग से ये सब कुछ बहुत बढ़ता है. सोशल स्किल्स बहुत बढ़ते हैं. जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया सोशल स्किल्स के बारे में. जब हम बच्चों को हम जब पढ़ते हैं तो हम डिफरेंट व्यू पॉइंट समझ पाते हैं. वी कैन रिलेट टू थिंग्स मच बेटर. This is something which is very important. Mental health benefits. So when you read aloud, I was reading and I was just, I realized even the elderly people, when they read, it keeps them away from dementia. So now that is one side of the story. The other thing is when you can relate to many characters from the book and compare, oh, this life, you can see a whole life together at that time. So what happens? We can understand our lives better also. And it does help mental health benefits. And of course, you are surrounded by books at all times, isn't it? And of course, life skills, cognitive, collaboration, critical thinking, all that is taken care by reading. तो अगर हम reading की बात करें तो ये पूरा का पूरा सब चीजें को कवर करता है. तो बहुत जरूरी है कि हम पहले समझें कि रीडिंग क्यों जरूरी है, चाहे हम टीचर हैं, लाइब्रेरियंस हैं, चाहे हम पेरेंट्स हैं. हम सिर्फ दूसरों को नहीं बोल सकते, जो भी हम करेंगे तभी तो हम दूसरों को बोल सकते हैं ना. सो अगर स्टोरीज की बात करें तो इट entails language processing, which somebody said. There is comprehension, there is emotions and memory. साउंड्स समझ में आते हैं, है ना. रेपिटिशंस जब होता है टक टक टक, सो वो सब जो चीजें हैं वो समझ में आती हैं. स्मेल्स वो समझ में आती है. व्हेन वी आर रीडिंग वी कैन स्मेल फूड इन द किचन. सो ऑल दैट इट इज टेकन, एंड ऑफ कोर्स वी इमेजिन. सो काफी लोगों ने ये बात की कि ये स्टोरी से हमें क्या क्या पता चलता है. सो दिस इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट हैपेंस जब हम कहानियों की बात करें. तो अब बात करते हैं कि ये अगर हम बात करें कि अगर पूरी जगह पे किताबें दिखें आपको, तो आपको कैसा महसूस होता है. कुछ लोग अगर जल्दी से टाइप करें, और नीता और अपेक्षा, इफ यू कैन से, एंड वील जस्ट गो ऑन बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग वी डिड विथ हाउ डू बुक्स मेक यू फील, a room full of books make you feel.
We've already got a first answer, which is peaceful. That's shared by 2 librarians. Happy, again shared by 2 librarians.
Absolutely.
Lots of happiness.
Correct. So
Magical.
This is exactly perfect. So these are some of the answers I got also. So one of our editors said excitement, warmth or joy. तो हमें excitement लगती है मुझे किताबें देख के. one parent said, heaven. For me, a cup of coffee, a comfy sofa. So that's the feeling. And another person said that if it is organized with colorful illustrations, and it's not crowded, I enjoy it. So I can pick books. So when we are looking at libraries, these are the kind of things which people react to. So we have to keep all that in mind as we talk. I feel really happy and calm when I see books. So when I see them, I feel like, sorry?
It keeps us occupied.
Absolutely. Occupied, as in when you see the books, I mean, it's a feeling, right? We are right now, of course. Occupied is something, yes, if you're interested in books, yes, of course. And so when I see them, I feel like I've unlocked different realms with parallel universe. और एक जो हमारे कथा के बच्चे हैं उन्होंने बोला कि बुक्स मीन आई कैन सी अदर वर्ल्ड्स इवन इफ आई डोंट ट्रैवल तो इस तरह से बच्चों ने रिएक्ट किया किताबों के लेकर तो अगर हम अब थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं हम किताबों की बात कर रहे हैं तो हम लाइब्रेरीज में ही किताबें करते हैं बट जब हम इमेज करते हैं एक लाइब्रेरी की तो लाइब्रेरी की इमेज आती है अ रूम फुल ऑफ बुक्स इजंट इट बट किताबें तो कहीं पे भी हो सकती है ना एक बास्केट फुल ऑफ बुक्स भी तो लाइब्रेरी है ना और एक ट्रंक फुल ऑफ बुक्स भी लाइब्रेरी है ठीक है तो ये एक मॉडल है जो हम यूज करते हैं तो बट ट्रेडिशनल लाइब्रेरी में क्या होता था दैट द लाइब्रेरीज वर सपोज टू बी स्टोरेज ऑफ बुक्स दे आई मीन डोंट टॉक it's not going to it's silent you're not going to speak there okay so that's what I was brought up with I'm sure like my generation would say that you're not supposed to talk you're not supposed to interact just go to the library and quietly go to the shelf get your book issued that's what used to happen and there was a lot of discipline and control and very limited formats okay and but now library is a collaborative space अब सब कुछ बदल गया है और चिल्ड्रन सेंटर्ड है इट्स अ लर्निंग इकोसिस्टम अब हम किस तरह से लाइब्रेरी को यूज करते हैं how we use library is up to us right so that's how it has become as I said book corners can be baskets trunks or mobile vans also right I'm going to talk more about it as we go forward and it's the child's voice and choice और अब हमारे पास ढेर सारी तरह की ऑडियोज भी हैं डिजिटल भी है रेडियो स्टोरीज भी हैं और प्रिंट भी है so now we have a lot of things which can happen
Sonia, can
yes
you just take a moment to pause? We wanted to share the WhatsApp QR code again because I
Absolutely.
think participants are still taking some time to join. Neeta, I think the QR code is with you or whoever had. Yeah, the screenshot. If Sonia, for just one moment, we can pause. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I'm just going to put it in the chat so she can
We
carry
can do
on.
that also. Yeah, we can do that also. No problem.
yeah I'm just done it actually I had it saved
Okay, great. Yeah.
now that we are talking about so many books but how can we go forward without reading a story I think that's how we are going to do it right
I think a few.
Can I just stick to English because there is another
Yes, I
message
think.
which is
Yeah, I think maybe just stick to English because there seem to be some requests to just
correct
speak in English.
right so what we are going to do is we are going to look at some books here and we'll start with this is of course Sonam's Ladakh but we are not starting here yet just give me a second I have to share an entire many books so yeah we'll start with a very interesting story again just give me a second who's Gatila now? So this story is about a cow whose name is Gatila. Are you all keen to listen to this story? And then we'll talk further. So
Okay.
once upon a time, my sister and I lived with my parents in a small village in Goa. My sister was slight and skinny, so father brought home a cow to give her fresh milk. This cow was small and completely black. My sister named her Gatila. Now, what Gatila did every day was she used to wake up early in the morning, and after being milked, she would roam about the place until sunset. In the evening, she would return to the shed for her meal. So she was very, very happy. Was she? Maybe not. She had a problem. She says, "Why am I stupid single color?" She would think watching a herd of black and white cows grazing nearby. She wanted to be like them. And then one day, when she went for a walk, she saw a frog. "Do you think I'm pretty?" she asked him shyly. "Well, if you like black, then you're very pretty, but I like green. Look around. Almost everything is green. Nature is green, nature is good, so green is good." Gatila waved goodbye to Frog with her tail and went home. She quietly sneaked into my grandfather's shed. She found a tin of jungle green paint and set to work. What do you think she did? Of course, she changed her colors. And look, the next morning, Gatila's all green. And the bees are swarming all surrounding her. "What's these?" they asked. "A green cow?" They laughed. Now Gatila gets very confused and puzzled. And she says, "What do you think is the best color then?" "Well, yellow like the sun and black like the night. And that is what is just right." And the next morning, voila, here you go. We have a black and yellow striped cow grazing in the field. A group of white egrets came to have a closer look at her. "Black and yellow?" the egrets laughed. Be white, they told her, flapping their wings widely. "White is right." Late that night, Gatila painted herself happily, singing bright and light, "White is right." Well, she wasn't happy for too long, because very soon white turned brown. Gloomily, sadly, she sat down under a tree close to where her friend Peacock was trying to get Peahen to see him. Gatila could not stop looking at him. Wow! What do you think she did then? Well, Peacock noticed Gatila and she told her, "You look terrible," he said. "Muddy brown is really not your color." "What do you think is the best color then?" said Gatila. Peacock spread his feathers to show his deep, beautiful colors. Gatila sat up suddenly. She just got an idea. She thanked Peacock and quickly ran home. The next day was the worst day of Gatila's life. Cows aren't supposed to be blue. Everyone laughed at her wherever she went. By the end of the day, Gatila was tired and sad. And then a tiny colorful butterfly came and settled on Gatila's nose. "You know what you should do?" she fluttered. "Be creative." What do you think happened next? Wow, just look at Gatila. When my grandfather went to the shed the next morning, there was a big surprise which greeted him. "What am I going to do with you?" he shouted. "Oh, my dear Gatila, you are one mad cow," he laughed. Gatila ran and hid in one corner of the garden, and in the afternoon it began to rain. The very first monsoon shower. Gatila stood in the corner of the garden. The whole time, color slowly dripped off. And when the sun came out, a very sad Gatila stood with her head bowed but her coat shining. My sister saw her from the window and ran out to her. "Oh, Gatila, how beautiful you look!" And Gatila is now a very happy cow. Morning, afternoon, or night, she jumps into the river to look pretty. And every time she looks at her jet black hide, She just smiles. So this is the story of Gatila. Did you enjoy?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
definitely.
But what is
Very
it that
nice. Very, very nice.
so what is it? So we have it in Hindi. So but we'll just stick to English right now so that we can go forward and talk more. So what is it that you learned from this story? How can you use it in the library? How can you use it with the children? That's the question now.
I think Gatila means being strong, sturdy, well built.
Okay,
Most of
that
us,
she was.
yeah,
Yeah,
most of us don't feel the same. Like we are strong. We always try to imitate. We always try to copy others
correct.
without knowing our own inner strength.
Absolutely. So these
So
are
I,
very relevant questions, ma'am. You are absolutely right. Yeah, please continue. We are listening.
uh, no, so I thought of inculcating this habit in children, saying that they are the most valuable ones and they are having all the inner strength. The only thing is that we have to project it out, and we teachers have to bring out their talent in forecasting their talent so that they come out with their inner strength, not
Yes,
personifying or copying others.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
So such stories
Mm.
make you question your own self, whether that's physical or the differences which we need to appreciate. So if we are all same, it wouldn't work. So we are all special. So these are the kind of questions, ma'am, what you have brought up can be asked by, the children can ask also. That what is it that, Gatila wasn't like, was she fine? And what you said was very right. Gatila means somebody who's very strong. So why was she not being, why did she not appreciate herself? So these are the kind of questions you can put forward. How are you special? How are your friends special? So books give
Down
a
with our own thoughts.
absolutely. So
Yeah,
if
but
you realize,
definitely.
right. So if you see books makes you reflect, imagine, and ask questions. The message is delivered without giving a lecture or, instruction to children. They will get it automatically. So these are the kind of things you can discuss. Should we celebrate differences in children? How can we celebrate differences? In the library, please introduce when you are doing, like if you have a theme like differences, please understand what I'm going to share here is just opening ideas. All right, so that's exactly the idea. And there's just a tip of it, and how we can use it in the library with the books is up to you, and how creativity, it blossoms into more creative ideas. So one can invite children to find and read books that feature characters who are different in looks, culture, ability, or beliefs. So what happens? It becomes now, right now, what is happening? Children are absolutely feeling isolated in a certain way. And when I travel and I meet teachers and children, so there's this whole concept I thought was very cosmopolitan of space, but this is percolated down to all cities also now, small towns. Everybody's looking for some space. So what is the isolation is so strong, and children, when we are talking about mental health, this is one of the things which is happening, which reading can help. So you don't have, nobody is judging you, but children can, the more they read, the more they can figure it out by themselves also sometimes. So the quiet corner in the library, which is very unstructured, can be given to them to read. So we can curate books that celebrate differences and display it in the library. So then have family story circles, because there's so much disconnect. So you can invite grandparents, parents, they can share stories at all times. So, their stories, because it's just become so relevant at the time. Let local voices speak. It can be, coming from different people or occupation. And then children can relate to stories, their hardships of, when they were growing up, what happened, how they, went through. So it's very important that we use these spaces in the right way. Any questions so far, or it's all good to go forward? And of course, when we are talking about Gatila, we can do, and not just Gatila, any story, we can do role plays there. So if you notice, let's go back. So books are a place to pause in a fast-paced world. It's hugely important. We are just, just going. Where are we going? We don't know. Your exam dena hai, marks lane hai. We have to take the exams. We have to get marks, So the whole rigmarole, pause. It's important now to pause, right? And what better place than books? Okay, it's a space to reflect, imagine, and ask questions. It is also a place to nurture empathy, okay, emotional literacy, and independent thinking. So when you do a story like Gatila, immediately children can, empathize. Oh, I feel the same. Identity, children feel they are, even if they are thin, they think they are fat. So there's a lot of, I'm giving you a very mild thing, but yeah, there are other issues which are happening these days to a larger extent. Very important is to connect with our cultural roots, That's something which I'm going to talk at length. And then, of course, to develop life skills, the 21st century life skills. That is what is going to lead the children in the big world right now, because information is available. But what do you do with that information is critical thinking. Okay, to sift information is critical thinking. So coming back, and of course, to listen and to be heard. So that starts right from the beginning till now. So Gatila, we just finished. There's a beautiful, yes. Anybody would like to speak out before I go forward? Is it all right? This if we do
Sonia,
it in
you can
English?
go on, don't
Just
worry.
go ahead.
Sure,
Go
sure.
ahead.
So there's another book which is actually deep. It is almost a picture book, wordless book. But if you go through it, these are very relevant topics when it comes to, talking to children. I'm just pulling out that book again. I will be pulling out many books. So this is one of the books which I will be talking about. Just give me a second. Just taking me a minute to kind of find the PDF. Yes, this is the one. Is it visible?
It is now.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I'll be using the English one. So I had pulled up both. Free. That's a huge word, right? If you can type in what freedom means to you or free means to you, some of you, if you can kind of talk about it. What is free for you? I'll wait for just 2 minutes and we'll go on forward.
Hello.
Anybody commenting there?
Yes. Free is to do what we need to do willfully.
Correct. Absolutely. Without
Even judging
restrictions.
the consequence.
No boundaries. Is
No
it,
boundaries.
are we living in a free world? Are there no
No.
boundaries?
No, absolutely not.
So we have questions there, right?
Yeah.
And not easy answers here. So just look at this. I am tiger. I am free. We are polar bears. We are fearless. I am a baby cheetah. I am fearless. I am a wild elephant. I am fair. I am a kingfisher. I am free. I am gorilla. I am fearless. I am fearless orangutan. I am lion. I am free, fair, fearless. We all live in the jungle. We are wild, free, fair, fearless. Please be our friends. Very simple story, but very thought-provoking. If you do it with this and open up questions to children, that what does free mean? I mean, forget about talking about the rest. I mean, we can just take out one and talk about it. It's deep then. And you can actually spend a lot of time thinking and asking questions and debating and discussing over it. When is it that you felt free? You know, little things.
As a
What
child?
is, yeah,
As a child?
yeah. I mean, ask these children. They got to reflect, imagine, and question, no?
No.
And when animals speak up about being wild, fair, and fearless, what does that mean? It's so relevant in today's time, you know, especially animals. I'm going to get another book in a while. Why do you think animals invite us to be their friend? So we are sensitizing children on not just, you know, it's not about us only. We are talking about the environment. We are talking about our world, our home. So it becomes very interesting. And can we be free, fair, and fearless in our own lives? So it's going back and forth in both ways. Of course, these are just ideas, as I said. It's not like you have to pick up everything, but these are thought-provoking things which can be done around books. When it comes to library, read aloud with reflection, think aloud is very important. हर कहानी का moral नहीं होता है. And it's not so easy, you know, getting into the morals of stories. What is important is how you think aloud and let the children reflect. So that's a very important dimension, which is, you know, like it's not our way and the highway. So pair it with folk tales. There are so many stories in folk tales which represent free fear, where there's this rabbit and lion story who's not scared of the lion, and then Birbal and then Ali Raman who stand up, you know, at the court. Panchatantra tales, Aesop's tales. So when we are talking about stories, you can juxtapose, and you know, it's not like one story. I mean, one can relate so many stories to the same theme, and then maybe create a corner that we are going to have a free, maybe corner, free, fair, less corner, and have a wall there with children's voices, where they can just have a wonder wall or a wall just writing it. Or if it's a village or have chalk, they can draw pictures or they can write. It reflects a lot, and there's a lot of observation which can come through this. Also have community voice boards where children can or adults can also participate. Why not? Because what we are talking about is a co-learning here. Because every time I'm doing something, it's always a two-way process. It's not just, you know, we are not unto. So yeah. Yes, there's a raise a hand. I mean, there's somebody wants to ask a question there.
Saranam, you could unmute yourself.
Yes, Sonia ma'am, good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to add something I wrote in the chat box also. Like you were asking what freedom means, or
Yeah.
what do you mean by like free? We
Yes.
can ask ourselves, we can ask. So, as a parent and as a librarian, if we know once the rote learning system, till the rote learning system is there, like whenever we say them, okay, children, please read. I said, read an article, read the newspaper. They said, ma'am, we are so over pressurized with the with learning with our questions, with our notebook work, that we don't have time to reading. So, there is a whole system which needs to be upgraded, because once they have, they need to just cram like a parrot. And even my own children, I can see they're all the time like learning for their midterm exam, annual exam. So once that freedom is there, it's very difficult as a parent and as a librarian to have that sense of reading, like a kind of like that kind of atmosphere. Because children are nowadays, they are so overburdened with studies, that it's really, I mean, if you can just help, I would be very grateful if you have any solution to this.
I do. Stories are the solutions. How about teaching everything through stories? So I do sessions, but yeah, because we have so much to share, and I'm actually putting in everything here, I'm going to come to that also. We are going to do a story which talks about science and how you can teach science through story. All right, so the reading anyways is happening, ma'am. Critical thinking, life skills. I mean, there's gamma of things which you can do in the classroom at home. Because as you say, maze maze mein padhai. I absolutely believe in it. That you can teach and also see, the more structure you give, the more, I think all of us are told to wake up at a certain time, even as adults, or do particular things. I mean, we don't like it. But look at it like that. What if you give ownership to the children? I mean, it really makes a difference there. And I mean, it's a very different topic, but yeah, actually, marks are not leading you anywhere, but life skills will, it's the skills you develop on the way. When we are talking about empathy, when you work in an office, I mean, we all know we have to have that, right? So, yes, I'll come to that again. We'll talk about stories. Empathy is hugely important. So, there's this story of this girl, and she's Aisha, and Aisha loves to play. So, again, this is another picture book. Would you like to see that also? It's kind of pretty quick. I'm just going to run you through some of the beautiful stories we have here. And so here we are. This, of course, is in Hindi, and we go on to English. See, the thing is, there are a lot of things you're not stating, but the children are getting it, because we are teachers and we are parents, so adults. So we are bringing it to the forefront. But children, whatever they learn subconsciously is what they learn, actually, if you look at it. So the stories are a very powerful medium to get through them. So there's this child, I can sing, I can swing, I can play any game, I can giggle, I can wriggle. Everyone shouts my name, Aisha, Aisha, Aisha. I can race, I can chase, I can count in tens. I can't walk, but I rock, for I have lots of friends. And that's all. So you don't have to speak to them, actually. They're just there. I mean, children can just get it. And then you see a lot of children. So similarly, in the same lines, I'll do two books together. And the other one is beautiful, and it's about a zoo. I'd like to address both the things together. So yeah, if you look at this, at the zoo, first I saw the white bear. And just look at the pictures, okay? The illustrations are not to be missed. Are they looking sad, happy? First I saw the white bear. Then I saw the black bear. Next I saw the camel with a hump upon his back. Then I saw the grey wolf with sadness in her eyes. Then I saw the giraffe reaching for the sky. Next I saw the elephant looking puzzled at me. Then I saw the monkey swinging from tree to tree. It is fun to go to the zoo, right? Next time ask the animals, do you like to be in the zoo? And that's it. So if you see how deep, picture books, and there's no age. I mean, if you're thinking it's going to be, the age criteria, but this I think resonates with all of us at our age also, right? Isn't it? So yeah, so these are the kind of stories you can do with children. And that's what we are talking about, nurturing empathy through books. Ma'am, when we are talking about, that's what we use, even all the schools are using holistic, development of children, right? So holistic empathy is one of that. What is special? So you can ask question, should we treat everyone with respect? You can have a kindness jar. You can have children, showcasing their whatever they like. Children can be empathetic. Katha has this movement, each child teach child. So children, can go out and teach, or even in the same, school. Agar we are talking about rural libraries, so children can volunteer and teach their, neighborhood children there. Have puppet shows, listening sessions where children, circle time activities, where they gather and they talk and express themselves, feelings baskets, have showcase wall. Similarly, when it comes to the zoo story, it's same. When we did zoo story, and actually we got a good feedback from, suddenly there were people who were writing that suddenly children are very sensitive to the stray animals and even the birds around. So now they've started taking care. So there were a lot of examples which were coming through these stories. So things changed. And then you can, of course, have debates in library. How can we, take care of stray animals? What is it that we can do when it comes to wild? Imagine what the animal would say if it could speak freely. Again, the topic of freedom comes in, and empathy acts. Any questions so far? So we are moving towards cultural roots. What I also realized was books are such a beautiful medium when it comes to, understanding our own culture. When I was doing, and it's not about only art, creativity is part of it, but it's not only art. So I was just looking at this book, I Am Bhil, which I showed the picture also. And Bhil art is actually, these are tribes from Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. And Bhuri Bhai, who's a very renowned Bhil artist, who I drew on paper for the first time. And then there's Gond art, which is very close to Bhil art. So, children need to be exposed to the art forms of India. I was in Indore and I realized that Jabwa, the Bhils are very close to Indore, but none of the teachers at the time knew. And rather, after they went through the book and, we spoke about it, they said, yeah, we will go and visit that place. So you see, it's not just that. I'm not going into the detail of it because I would like to do another book very soon. So here you can expose, make them aware of our culture, which is there. Turn stories into songs. When you're talking about, ma'am, you said there's so much to study. So if you turn that study into songs, which I do, I'm an English language trainer. So, we teach grammar through songs and we do a lot of fun things. And we actually don't really teach grammar, and we teach the language to second generation learners without teaching, or talking about grammar or, the brass tacks of it. So, yeah. So again, when we came to Sonam's Ladakh, would you like to see Sonam's Ladakh? Now that Nirupama ma'am, do we have enough time to talk about it?
You could go ahead.
Right. Give me a second, please. Just need to figure out. So there's this book called Sonam's Ladakh, which is set up in Ladakh, and we come to know so much about life of Ladakh. I'm just sharing the book. Somehow it's moved on the side actually. So can you see the book?
It's still opening.
Is it there?
Yeah, it's visible
Yes,
now.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Visible.
You can see the entire book or just part of the book?
You can only see it's not centered really. So we can just see the last letters are getting cut.
Correct. I just need to figure this out why this has happened. Any till I'm kind of sorting this out, anything you'd like to add on, please? I mean, free to ask questions till then.
I think you're just showing us so many different kinds of books that Katha has made.
So the idea is to basically talk about books and see how we can use them in the library with the children and, use the spaces in a better way, maybe. So that's the whole idea of showing so many books. Can you just give me a minute? I'll just try to figure this out because it's just on the side. Just give me.
Sure, no worries. In the meantime, if anybody has questions, you all could probably put it down in the chat box. Or if anyone has any experience of sharing, of using any of the books in the library. And I hope you all have also joined the chat link that Ms. Sonia has shared with us. Does anyone have any favorites so far out of all the books that we've read together? You could just
Sorry,
put that
I've
in the
been
chat
able
box.
to figure it out. So this is the book we've been talking about. This is Sonam's Ladakh.
It's visible. We can see the whole
Yeah.
cover.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I just had to take some time to figure this out. I am Sonam. I study in the 5th standard at the Nomad School. In winter, I come home to help look after my family's Pashmina herds. We are the Changpa. We live in Ladakh. Here, I am with my best friend Nitrim. In Ladakh, when it is cold, it is very, very cold. But when the sun comes out, it is nice. I love Sokar Lake. It is always very cold. And then, like magic, it is very, very warm. I like to play. My sister, Pembam, likes to play with her pet Pashmina goat. This is Yongdol with her grandfather. Happiness is being with grandparents, no? My grandmother always says sheep and goats and dogs are better than boxes of money. Our rivers of ice, our fields so green, they make our land rich. This is a yak caravan going in search of food. The strong yak. We have many animals in Ladakh. The rare Eurasian otter, the gentle horses, and Shanku, the Himalayan wolf. But best of all, we have quiet nights full of stars. And that's all. So when we are talking, so right now what we were doing was, it's a mix of fiction and non-fiction if you look at it. So there's creative non-fiction also happening. The children are getting a lot of things. They're learning about geography. It's interesting how you can juxtapose books with your regular and address the subject along with that. So that was a question which had come up. So it's very easy actually to do that. It's not so tough. And with it, you can do stuff like, I guess this is visible. Ask the children to find related books from the library on geography, Himalayan wildlife, stories of mountain communities. So discuss, have story circles, discuss culture and livelihood. I guess Ladakh is a burning issue right now. So lots happening there. Let's take a break and then I'll do one last book. And this is just type your full name and you can actually send this in the chat box. WhatsApp, email, school. I one lucky winner to have a Katha book. So anybody, you will get a physical book. So just type in your details in the chat box. Is that possible, ma'am? Anita?
Yeah. We'll have a transcript of the chat and then we
Right.
can send that to Katha and you can
Perfect.
draw the lucky.
Perfect. All right. Moving forward, this is a very interesting story. How are you familiar with this story? How to weigh an elephant? So what we are talking about is life skills, critical thinking, which is really part of even answering questions. If you look at textbooks, I've been part of where, we had to kind of tell adults how to answer questions. What is relevant, what is not relevant. All right, so critical thinking is part of the story. So the story which I'm going to do is, it's called How to Weigh an Elephant. I'm just pulling it up. Is it visible?
Now it is, yes.
Correct. So how do you weigh an elephant? Anybody? Ma'ams.
Maya.
Okay, let's read it. I think we are all like, it's almost not so long ago. There was a king. The king had a pet elephant, a roly-poly elephant, a chubby, happy elephant. One day, the king said out aloud, I wonder how much my elephant weighs. The king declared, find out the weight of my elephant. Grand prize, and win a grand prize. So the fruit sellers tried, the rope makers tried, the jewelers tried, the royal ministers tried, even the court scientists tried. At last, one of them said, my little daughter Leelavati can help us. So the king called Leelavati. Leelavati thought and thought and thought, and at last she had an idea. Do you have an idea there? All right. You know what she did? She took the elephant to the river. She led the king's roly-poly elephant to the river. Any ideas coming in now? and got the chubby, happy little elephant into a boat. The boat sank and sank and sank. And when it sank no more, Leelavati made a mark on the boat. And then she got the elephant out of the boat, and the boat was filled up with stones. And when the boat sank up to the mark, Leelavati said, "Stop." You know why? Because now weigh the stones and subtract my weight. And that, O king, is the weight of your elephant. So you're teaching a lot of subjects through this one story. Can any science teacher, maths teacher here? What story is coming through this story? What subjects can you teach using a very small story?
Math, science. In math, we can teach measurement.
Absolutely.
As well as in science, balance. Measurement
Archimedes
skills,
principle.
yes.
Archimedes principle. Buoyancy. So here also the character is a girl. So you can ask children to read more books where girls have contributed to science. It's how you can take it, and then you can get it, with your subjects also. Tie it up with your subjects as much as you can, using books. Like even if you're doing a story on zoo, then there's a lot of things which can happen. The animals there, the environment thing coming in. Find books where the main characters are girls. Make corners in library. Girls in STEM story shelf. So these are the kind of things which also encourages children to aspire in life. If वो कर सकते हैं तो हम भी कर सकते हैं ना. So that's very important. Think aloud boards are very important, I feel, because we sometimes shut voices. So it's very important to just talk as much as possible. So all these things are very important when it comes to, getting, and all this can happen in a library because it's structured, unstructured in a way. Because children can spend time and, there's no curriculum so-called attached to it that what they are going to do. So if you see, there are more books like I have home. Now help children see library as a shared emotional space, a place of comfort, identity, and connection. Add a book corner on home and belonging, stories about adoption, migration, refugees, foster care, everyday families, story corners with purpose. Have feeling shells, emotion basket, question walls, wonder wall. Read aloud reflections, rituals, 1 minute pause before reading. Have a routine, have a schedule, drop everything. I think a lot of schools do dear periods. Drop everything and read. So that's like very common. And once children get into the reading habit, I think mobiles and all this will take a backseat somewhere. And library journals, book thought cards, audios, role plays, treasure hunts. That's another way of doing it. And the other day, I was just looking at something called tasting menu, book tasting menu. And I thought that was so fantastic that there are all genres of books lying, and the children will choose and look at the blurb and look at the title, and there's a whole card which they need to, and it's timed, right? And which book would you prefer to read and why? And that was called book tasting menu, and then they rotate and then they go on round tables. So a lot of things can be done in the library through these books. This is Katha Librarians WhatsApp group, which we have been asking you to join. And maybe share all your details also there. That can be another method. And we haven't finished yet. So for children, we are having writers workshop. It's a beautiful platform. I have been associated, and we all have been. I mean, it's beautiful where children can, talk about themselves and whatever we've been talking, express themselves in writing now. It's called, I'll talk about that and come back here. It's called Katha Utsav, where all children can express. The topic is, I mean, we have a theme, My India, My World, where children can express themselves, right? We have extended the dates because there's so many people who are coming in. So we've extended the date till 15th October. If you go on Katha Utsav website, you'll know all the details. You'll get all the details. Please encourage children to write and express themselves. It's a beautiful platform where they will meet peers from different regions, if their stories are selected. So the idea is to first just upload the story. We will have jury, which will go through as many stories and then have regional workshops in different places where we'll call mentors to, guide them further in their writing skills. It can be a poem, it can be a non-fiction piece, it can be a fiction piece. Only things, stories which are around India and world. I mean, the theme shouldn't be like, it should be India stories, which they can write. And after that, they meet a lot of people and children. It's quite a interesting way, and there's no, like, you just learn. The idea is to go through the process of it, and then, so it's very beautiful. So well, it's from grade 4 to 7, 300 words, and grade 8 to 12, 600 words. These are initial dates, but the dates have gone up to 12th. You can go into Katha Utsav website and then look at more details there. In case you would like to ask, of course, you can go back to that QR code and ask your question. I mean, we can post it there also. We'll be posting all the details there. In nutshell, I would like to finish here. Please celebrate differences. Be fair, free, fair, and fearless. Nurture empathy, connect with culture, explore the world, solve problems, and feel heard. So that's what libraries are meant to do. It's a space of wonder, a place of presence, a center for emotional and cultural growth, a quiet ground for reflection, critical thinking, empathy, and creativity. That's all. Open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We have about 15 minutes for questions.
I just have a doubt, like you've been saying that we can conduct workshops. Will children be a part of the workshop, or it is only the teachers?
We are talking about Katha Utsav?
Yeah, Katha Utsav.
So the writing
If
workshops
there is
are
a
for
workshop,
children, but we simultaneously, because a lot of parents, for regional workshops and for the finale, a lot of parents come. So we do involve them and we have workshops, physical workshops at that time. But right now, the focus is children.
Oh. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Would you like to say anything? Any questions more so?
Please feel free to unmute and ask because we do have time for a couple of questions more.
Excuse me, ma'am. I am Aruna from Nachketa Tapovan. Ma'am, when the children are writing the story on their own, like fiction or non-fiction, where they need to add the heading like My India, My World. This sentence where they have to
They
add,
don't
ma'am.
have to, ma'am. That's the theme. So they don't have to add anywhere. It's like
Okay.
we need stories from our own, that's all. They don't have to
Okay.
add it anywhere.
Okay, ma'am. clearly.
Sonia, in today's world where ChatGPT has become everyone's best friend, how would you advise people to, make sure that the children who are participating in this, do you have any rules around using generative AI?
Yes, because we are not going to encourage. We do have tools which can make out it is AI generated or not. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. So yes, these are going to be written by the children, where they see we are talking about their voices, right? So AI's voice, not your voice. And the idea is to have children write their own stories, and we would be disqualifying ones which are AI generated.
So perhaps you might want to, one idea on how to do this without is probably having them write the story in your presence.
So for the first rounds, because the children are writing from all corners of India and they are uploading their stories. Once that process is done, and then whatever they write in the regional workshops will be written at that time.
No, I'm saying suppose there is a library or a
That
school
yes,
that
of
is
course, yeah,
encouraging their
that
children, they
would be
can do
so
that.
fantastic. Teachers can do it, yes. It's up to schools can take it up, yes. So a lot of schools are actually doing it. I mean, there've been a school from where the lot of entries have come in, and they did it in school. It wasn't a home assignment. You're right. Thank you so much for bringing this up. I guess
Any
no
other
questions.
questions? Yeah. I think a lot of you have shared your details in the chat box. Just requesting you to check if you have everything shared, your email address plus phone number. It'll really help connect with you later because there are exciting prizes to be won.
Yeah, Sonia, maybe you could just show that slide with whatever details you need again,
Yes.
because we're getting quite a few incomplete entries.
I understand. This is it. Type your full name, email ID, number, school, city in the chat box.
Library also is fine if
Right.
a library.
So there's an example given, Aswini Goyal, with the phone number, email ID, school name, and the city. So that's actually the format is a referral, like it's an example.
Renu is asking if the PowerPoint can be shared with them. I don't know if Sonia is okay with that, but we are live streaming this event, and the entire session will be available on YouTube for you to view later in case you missed part of the session, in case you joined a little late or had to leave early. This entire session will be available for you to watch on YouTube. Please don't forget adding your email IDs. I'm seeing a few without email IDs. You've added everything else, which is great, but Ms. Jayanti from Chennai and Madhu Lagna Parida from Delhi. if you could also add your email IDs.
Sure. Sure.
Yes, Renu, certainly. I'll be sending an email by tomorrow with all these things, with the links and everything. In case there are no more questions, I request Nirupama to conclude the session. We can always leave you. Tomorrow's a lovely holiday, the Sahara and Gandhi Jayanti. So we can let you off early instead. Renu, please add your number as well.
On behalf of Librarians of India, I extend a warm thank you to Ms. Sonia Duggal for really enlivening this session with all the beautiful books that she brought in and the wonderful activities where I think we've gone from breaking stereotypes to understanding more about culture, teaching children about confidence. And it just reinforces what stories can do for children. So thank you, and thank you to Katha Books also for the collaboration. And of course, thank you to all our dear participants who really motivate us to continue doing this. I just request all of you to fill up the feedback form that's in the chat box, because when you give us feedback, it pushes us to do better and get more resource people to collaborate with us and work. So looking forward to our next session. And of course, please join the chat link, because Ms. Sonia, as she mentioned, there are exciting prizes to be won. And thank you, everybody. Have a good evening and a great long weekend ahead for those of us who have that little extra holiday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Yeah, it was really such
Hello,
a lovely
Anamika, mommy. Is that your daughter studying in what school?
You have filled up the feedback form. You can go ahead, enjoy the rest of the evening. And Ms. Sonia, can I just request you to stop sharing the screen too?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Jerry had so many stories to share. Thank you for your generosity.